Hey everybody, this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, aka Vulcan Wolverine 2. It is November 10th, 2019, Sunday. It's about 3 o'clock in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's your boy Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, aka Vulcan Wolverine 2. I just wanted to do a short live stream today because some people were texting me wondering if I was okay. I'm definitely okay. The ZBS driver is working very well. I might go ahead and wait for some people to get in the chat. Um, I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome anybody in chat. Hey Jared, how you doing, man? Hey, 4 times Jack. Um, hey Tansy, how are you doing? Tansy says, hey mate, how are you? I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. The ZVS driver's working very well. Um, but still, I mean, my attackers still do target me. It's just bringing the targeting way down. It's bringing it way down, but I still deal with a lot of neuropathy on the left side, like damage that my attackers have created. And I still deal with some B2K. And then when I walk away from the ZVS driver, like if I go to the bathroom, I'll get the high pitched sound in my ear. So it's like when I'm outside of the field, and like right now my ZVS driver is like right here. It's like what's that? Like, and that's when the field is really strong. So I get a lot of relief. I feel a lot lighter. I feel like the headaches that my attackers give me are lessened. The mind control stuff is lessened. Sometimes the V2K goes down, but it seems to be on a different system. I'm just not sure about that. But yeah, I wanted to do a live stream today, and I want to thank God for the miracles that He's given us. I also want to pray to God for miracles for targeted individuals who are just in really rough situations and they can't seem to get out. They can't seem to get a leg up. And I really want to pray for more miracles for them too. Also, kind of wanted to go through because I know there's discussion in the TI community. Hey, is this all spiritual? Can we just we can just pray to Jesus Christ and we don't need these devices or anything like that. I kind of wanted to read some stuff on how miracles work in our world from some really good theologians, and also this article on science and faith and how they're very intertwined. Kind of wanted to read those. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I'll wait for some people to get in the room because I kind of want to open it with a prayer, especially since it's Sunday, but also it's like the things that I'm doing are helping me a lot with the targeting. However, it's still hard. It's still hard. My family's still being targeted. There's so many people out there, so many targeted individuals suffering, and you know, it's very stressful because I want everybody's suffering to stop. Um, there was one lady, and I think I'm gonna do like a separate video on this, just an individual video. She left a very frustrated comment. Um, she left a very frustrated comment, and I understand her frustration, but she was saying like how saying that because I have so many subscribers over so many years or whatever, that she questions me. She kind of questions me and questions what side I'm on, and says, why hasn't it ended? Why haven't we found justice? If you're sitting there on videos, y'all sit on there on videos and talk all the time. I kind of wanted to explain it. And I understand your frustration. I'm going to make another video, but I do just want to explain what I'm doing here because I'm a targeted individual. I experience a lot of pain. Y'all know that my priority is these defenses, these things that can attenuate this. And it's not, and she in her comment, she was like, why are you playing the game and trying to fight them and trying to counter these things when we really need to just stop the program? I understand we've got to stop the program. You've got to understand my logic behind attenuating this stuff as much as we can so our minds are as balanced as possible against these neuroweapons. Our bodies are in the least pain that we can be in so that we can do those priorities, so that we can do the rallies, so that we can get TIs together, to confront senators and representatives and those things, like all the things that we're trying to do. Also want to say, this is kind of how it works, because I think there's maybe a misperception. I'm a single TI. Like I'm a one TI, and I have this YouTube channel that I work on while I follow other leads. While I look for other leads, such as I went to Green Bank, West Virginia to see if that would work, going to Dr. Hoffer, about to go to University of Pennsylvania. The defenses are important. It's not just trying to counter what they're doing. It's trying to, while we're trying to beat this program, to counter and attenuate as much suffering in our body and our mind as possible, because that's when we're at our best. We have to break the cycle. Almost made the name of the live stream today, breaking the cycle. That's number one. These attackers are getting us twisted up in this evil, negative cycle. The gang stalking keeps us in this negative, evil cycle. And we can get washed away. We can get caught up in that wave, that undertow of negativity. So the most important thing is to get with God, to be an anomaly, and you got to break the negative cycle however you can break that negative cycle, so that we can have a chance and we can have more probability at those bigger court cases, those things, getting news coverage, getting media coverage. Also, I understand people's frustration. Like, I understand this lady's frustration. She has kids. She's worried about them being attacked by these weapons, which this program does attack kids. It is pedophilia. And she has a big concern about that. Other targeted individuals are very concerned about that too. I just wanted to say, like, I am a node, right? Like a NODE. I'm a targeted individual and I'm a node of information, and I chase my leads, right? Like, I'm only one targeted individual making this channel, and I'm chasing these leads to try and make it better, to try and get doctors. You know, I'm going to look into Melinda Kidder and Dr. Staniger and, you know, whatever they're associated with, to see if we can get, you know, implants out. So well, I do want to do another video on that, just, you know, going over her comment and then replying to it, because she's very frustrated. She's a mother and her kids are being targeted and she's being targeted. I understand her frustration, but you just got to understand, you got to perceive this right? As targeted individuals, we have to create informational nodes, chase down your leads. If you can't think of any leads to chase down, then you need to get with a bigger organization, or you need to get with another node that's doing that. But every targeted individual should be doing what I'm doing, what Targeted Citizen is doing, what you know, what Michael Barden is doing, what Bill Cottle is doing, what Ella is doing, what Dr. Horton's doing, what Romola D is doing. Every one of us has to create a node, so that we can help people off that node and we can chase more leads on this. What I mean by chase leads is, like, I'm about to check into the University of Pennsylvania, get the 3 first doctors off of the JAMA report, and then I'm going to contact them so we can send in our DTIs. Maybe some of us can go get DTIs from the University of Pennsylvania. But what people who are really frustrated and they're like, okay, there's all these targeted individuals and they've got these organizations, they're trying to start court cases, they're doing rallies, they're putting up billboards, you know, they're doing live streams, whatever, and they're like, we haven't seen justice. What people have to understand is who's doing this to us. These are contractors in the Department of Defense. They're protected by the Pentagon. The Pentagon has decided to do this to the American people. And in other countries, their high up intelligence has decided to do training, research, and development on the citizens of that country. It's the most powerful force globally, the military-industrial complex. So it's not that targeted individuals aren't trying everything in their power to stop this. That's not the case. It's that we're hitting brick walls because these murders, this experimentation, this torture to children is being protected and hidden. So it's a very, very, very hard thing to do. Now, that can help you understand why I make it a priority to find these things to attenuate for us, because I don't know if this program is going to end tomorrow, and I sure can't plan for that. I have to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Also, the thing is, guys, you want hope, right? You want hope, you want healing. You're not going to find hope waiting for somebody else to do this. You have to get proactive. It's the only reason I'm positive in this. If I was sitting here waiting for Ella to fix this, or waiting for Dr. Horton to fix this, or waiting for Romola D to fix this, I would have no hope. I would have not found my own hope. So the only way to hold on, to find hope, and you can find hope through other people, through their suggestions, through my suggestions, through other targeted individual suggestions, but then just be proactive. The place where you're probably not going to find hope is, okay, somebody's got to end this program for me. You're not going to find, you're going to find a lot of frustration and a lot of anger in that. And we're going to try, we're trying to stop this program. We've got to do those things to keep climbing up. So I just want to say that, and I'm going to make a video about that. She's a mother. She and her kids are being targeted. It is horrific. No words for the situation. I don't feel like I deserve that anger. I've worked my ass off. My family, my dad was almost murdered from this. I've almost been murdered from this. My mom is being targeted. I'm trying my best to follow leads that I think will be successful for us. So I don't feel like I deserve that, you know, that anger right there. But I do understand, because I was talking to my psychiatrist and I said, you know, I make videos about this, but the horrible thing is, you know, a lot of targeted individuals who are in pain, they really can't complain or attack their attackers. So they end up attacking the closest authority figures that they can get to, that they can be frustrated at. And that seems to be targeted individuals that are stepping up to try and find solutions or to do live streams or things like that. It's just the way that it works. I don't know why, but people they're waiting for somebody to fix this. I know some of you guys aren't. Some of you guys are very proactive. I think this lady is very proactive. I think she's trying everything she can too. She has kids. She's trying to reduce their suffering and things like that. I'd really recommend looking into the ZVS driver. I don't know how you'd put noise canceling hearing aids on your kids, but if you could get a ZVS driver for your home, it could reduce everything in one room, at least your children's room. But I did want to say that. Let me go to the chat room real quick. I just want to do a short live stream because people were kind of worried. But I'm okay. I'm definitely okay. I mean, I'm still dealing with the targeting. Even with the ZVS driver, I'm still dealing with things from the targeting, but it's way worth it. It's like 80–90% attenuation. It's the best defense. It's doing better than Dave Case's CD. Hey, Melissa. Melissa says, I mean, it's been a full year, actually longer since I stopped. Hey, Wayne. Wayne says, was too much, all caps. Tansy says, Kyle, my dogs and I chased a pedophile out of the yard. He was going to my son's window and pleasuring himself. That's horrible. That is horrible. Yeah, Deb says my dog was murdered. I'm very worried about my dog because my dog's very lethargic. Like she's like lethargic, kind of like I get lethargic. Okay, so Swag Astronomer says, when is that ZVS driver tutorial coming? Please, Kyle, don't forget, please. Well, I've made a lot of videos on the ZVS driver. I've showed all the parts. I've showed what you need to do, kind of. I guess what we can do, because I've already put mine together, right? I've already put mine together, and that's another frustration. Well, I do want to say this. My friend Ken in Canada put his ZVS driver together, and he has found relief from nothing. Like he gets electrocuted, like he gets like heavy microwaves, and he's tried everything. He's tried grounding, he's tried Dave Case's CD. He hasn't tried the noise canceling hearing aids, but he did put his ZVS driver together, and he was texting me and saying, this effing works. Like, and I mean, he's tried everything. So it really works. I'm gonna try and figure out how I can do that, Swag Astronomer, because I guess I'd have to do it over Zoom. And what I could do is just people could bring the equipment that they have to the Zoom kind of class, and then I could just show them how to cut the cables. You know, we could go through what kind of link, but it's kind of, you know, once you have the parts, you got the power supply plug, you got the power supply, you got the two cables that you need to hook the power supply to the ZVS driver. I mean, and then you just You just cut the cables and do it. Okay, Jeff said I put my ZVS driver together today, and you got it on, Jeff? That's awesome. Yeah, I want more people to do it, and I'm really, really, really frustrated. It's making me feel a lot better, but I'm very frustrated because y'all know my girlfriend is Stacy, and the first ZVS driver she got was broken, and so the Tesla coil heated up super fast, and then this time she came out because she has to go to work. She has to go to work for like a week away from where she lives, and then she came back to put the ZVS driver together, and there was a problem. There was a problem with the plug. It wasn't connected to anything, but it shorted out the electricity in her room, and so we're having a lot of trouble with Stacy's ZVS driver. It's really stressing me out a lot because her targeting is really, really bad. It's really bad, and this is like, this is it. This is a good solution, guys. So I'm really frustrated about that. But we're still working on that. Hey, Drunken Ninja Man, how you doing? Swag Astronomer says, I'm 26 years old. Do you think I'm going to be targeted forever? Please read. I don't think so. I have hope that this will end in the next couple of years. I can't plan on that though. I have to prepare I have to attenuate. I can guarantee that we can attenuate to like 95% in the upcoming year, that we'll have enough solutions to attenuate a huge percentage. That's a guarantee. That's why I work on that. So that lady who was, and I don't know if she's in the chat, some of you may have read the comment, but she's very angry. I don't feel like I deserve that though. I've been working my ass off. Like when I feel like neuropathy on my left side and I can't think, I can't organize my thoughts, I get on the live stream because these are nodes of information. It's a node where all these targeted individuals in chat can come to, can spread information, can spread the truth, can infect back. And it's while we can't do anything else. Like today, I can't go out on the street right now. Like I just can't do that. So I'm going to make a video, right? But I'm chasing leads, University of Pennsylvania. I'm going to try and get my ass to the next rally. There's court cases going on. While we wait for that stuff, while that stuff is going through, defenses and live streams and anything, we got to take every path. It's not just doing YouTube, because she was like, oh, you're just on YouTube talking. And I'm not trying to make fun of it because she's a mother, she's being targeted. I'm definitely not, I understand her frustration. It's okay. It's okay that she came to my channel and did that. This is the appropriate place because I understand how frustrated she is. I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say, but that's the thing. I'm not just doing YouTube, right? I'm doing a bunch of other stuff, but it's just when I can't find any other avenues, I go down this avenue. We got to take every avenue. This isn't going to be a one-stop shopping thing. This isn't going to be a one punch man thing where he just punches the dude once. I mean, we're going to have to do a bunch of stuff, and this is a main thing too. What live streams do that's very important, other than getting defensive information out and information about who's doing this, like the Directed Energy Weapon Summit, the Directed Energy Caucus, things like that, which I think I'm going to be going over some of those things again, so it can solidify, so people can know who's doing this. I know who's doing this. I have evidence of that. I put it up all over my channel, but we're still talking about that. We're still talking about who's doing. We know who's doing this. Contractors under the Department of Defense in certain agencies, and then you got these agencies kind of throwing in with the surveillance. But Drunken Ninja says you're not just talking, but trying to educate people on a difficult subject. Yeah, thank you, Drunken Ninja. And I'm not trying to come down on this woman at all. I'm just trying to explain how this works, because I think that some people maybe get the wrong perception. It's like they see me and they see that I have a lot of subscribers and I'm a TI, and they're like, fix this, fix this for us. And I'm trying all the little, but I'm one guy, right? Targeted Citizens, one guy, Ella's one woman. We've got to create these nodes where we get people around and we all chase these leads. We've got leads. We've got to open these leads, like University of Pennsylvania, Dr. Hoffer, then other TIs go through that door, right? And that's only a couple of angles. That's only a couple of angles. So, and what I wanted to say is what's really important also about live streams, about those things is morale. We have got to keep our morale up. That's going to stop the cycle. If you're in a constant cycle of stress and giving up and fighting with people and all this stuff, it's a negative cycle. You got to break the cycle somehow. What I see, because I have a scientific mind, is that what can really break the cycle is chemical shielding, supplements, kratom, in these devices, and cleansing stuff too. But some good passive shielding. You can break this indomitable cycle, And Deb Full of Grace says, the Bible says, having done everything, then you stand. Good job, Kyle. Thank you so much, Deb. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a great, having done everything, then you stand. And we need God after everything that we do. But I really think that we shouldn't get frustrated at each other. I'm not blaming her at all. I'm not blaming this woman at all. Like, she's being murdered by this stuff. This is a situation that it drives you crazy. Like, I've been driven crazy a million times from this. It's just too much, right? But we still got to keep going, and God can help those situations when you're just broken apart. He can help put you back together, and you need God for this. You really need God. We need miracles. I forgot what I was going to say. What was I going to say? But that's, after we do everything that we can, then we need God's miracles. We need God to take those things that we're doing and make them better, because we're just humans doing this. Hey, healthy living and other things. Hi, Deb, I'm going to make you a moderator. Just want some more, just a lot of moderators, Hey, artist of Elion. Hey, politically persecuted Bristol, UK. Tansy says, and we have, let me read Tansy's chat. And we have to keep doing things that help all the time. But at least now with the TI community working together, we are finding things to help. Yes, that is so important. We are finding solutions. The solutions, like, I don't want to just, and this woman came across with, I kind of like the comment because it helps me to explain why what I'm doing isn't what she's saying. She's saying, why are we spending all of our time countering these people? We're just playing the game. This is a small angle. Countering what they're doing and attenuating what they're doing, it makes us stronger. It makes us not only physically and mentally stronger, it makes us spiritually stronger because our spirituality is connected to our physicality. It's necessary, guys. Since 2011, I've known that I was targeted, and I've thought about this stuff. I've fumbled through. I've, contacted the FBI. I've done all this, done all that. And then, it gets to a point where you're like, we need to buy time because this is the most unfair, unjust, satanic system where people are actually propping it up. Criminals are being propped up and protected, and the innocent are being murdered. I mean, this is go time, right? This is the big bad. So you got to understand, just try and understand what's happening. Like, don't look at a TI on YouTube and be like, hey man, why aren't you fixing this for me? You're not going to find hope in that. I can give you hope. I can give you solutions and options. We can pray to God here. We can do things proactive. You got to be proactive. You can't just, and I'm going to try and give solutions out. But when you become proactive, and instead of when you're looking at this stuff, when it's hitting you and you're like, this hurts so bad and they're murdering me, you get in your headspace and you say, what can I do to feel better? What can I do to make my children feel better right now? What are some solutions? We've got to have those things ready because we've got to buy time. And we've got to feel better when we're trying to fight this, when we're trying to get people on our side, when we're trying to fix this in society. This is the hardest thing I've ever could imagine in my life. Like being hit with remote directed energy weapons that people accuse us for being mentally ill for while the murderers hide. I was thinking about it today, how, people get kind of frustrated at me because I'm a TI on YouTube, right? I put my face out there, I'm being targeted, but I put my face out there, I'm known, right? I'm known and my actions are known, and people can get mad at me. They can say, Kyle, I hate you or whatever, or Kyle, I like what you're doing. But the problem is with these people that are doing this to us is they're completely anonymous, like these microwavers, so they don't face any kind of public judgment. Us as targeted individuals, we're facing so much public judgment because we're out there, we're talking about this. These evil people, they hide in the shadows and nobody talks about them. They don't face any kind of judgment or anything like that. That will change. I know that will change. I know it will change. I know that God is good. He will give us victory in some way that I don't see. I kind of want to talk about that today. Yeah, Deb Full of Grace says, if I could fix it, it would be gone, right? Yeah. Deb, you need to do the ZVS driver, though. So Tanya says, hi, Stacy, if you're watching. Next, and Brian, too. Stacy's, she's on her way. She has to go work another week. She has to, like, leave where she's living now and go work another week. So it's frustrating because, I don't know. I mean, she's thinking, I guess I don't want to get into that, but it's very frustrating because I want her to use the ZVS driver. It's a big deal. Her targeting's bad, and there's just some frustrations going on there. But hopefully a lot of other people will try it, and everybody will see that it does work. Now, it's not 100% like what the German TI was saying, that it hides you from everything they're doing. I don't really think he said that. I think he said it hides you from the scalar weapons, which I think there's different in these integrated weapon systems. There's like scalar, microwave, infrasound, ultrasound, sonic. They have all these tools at their disposal. The ZVS driver is affecting some certain layers of it, but it's not taking everything away. But it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Yeah, Deb Full of Grace says, no morals who do this. They have no conscience. They're, I don't even, and I'm not saying they're reptilians or anything. I'm just saying that as we would see people, they're not people. Because human beings have compassion, they have empathy, their frontal lobes work, right? We see people who don't have that is like Ted Bundy, serial killers and stuff like that. That's how we see people who have no frontal lobe working, and they'll kill people and they don't care. But in our society now, those people are rewarded, and then people who are compassionate, empathetic, kind, we're dragged down because the world is so bad and so evil, and we care. So it hurts us the most. That's why I always say, I think that the world is being terraformed right now for psychopaths. I think they're creating more psychopaths. I think that the psychopaths that just are born psychopaths are going to have an easier time because they don't care when people are in pain. And I think this is like terraforming for a psychotic, psychopathic society. I think compassionate people have a huge challenge that we need God. We need God. Drunken Ninja says, not everyone is against us. Just give it time. Dude, ooh, I love that comment. We need these people on our side. We need some of these gang stalkers who don't know anything, who are ignorant. We need them on our side. We need people who may not help us the most that they can right now, like my psychiatrist. My psychiatrist doesn't really believe me, but what she told me is, she said, I am here to help you with the depression and anxiety that comes from all of this. She's starting to kind of believe me a little bit, but she can't just go to her manager and say, hey, this guy, because she's like a practicing psychiatrist who's about to go into her own practice, but she helps me as much as she can. We meet in the middle. I do as much like as I'm supposed to do for her as I can justify, and she helps me as much. That gap's gonna close. There are good people in this world. There are good people in this world. I like that comment. I like it, Drunken Ninja. Are you a moderator, man? Did I make you a moderator? Yeah, you're a moderator. Yeah, Jared Ritter says the laws are against this. That's not necessarily true, Jared. Murder, rape, and torture are illegal. They're illegal. So in proving this, the law is on our side. The problem is that new laws have been created for national security. So that these contractors in the military industrial complex, they live by a different set of laws than the public lives by. And the laws do protect us. It just doesn't protect us from these people who say national security, terrorism, we can do whatever we want. You know, so there's these new rules. Our laws protect us from murder, rape, and torture. We just have these new Frankenstein monsters that are popping up in our society that are impossible to get past. And I'm saying impossible. Impossible is only impossible until it is not. But it seems impossible right now. We got to keep chipping away at it, you know. Yeah, Jared Ritter says it's unbelievable, and that's why people can't comprehend. That's why we've also, because can you imagine if you weren't targeted, would you believe this? I question it. I kind of think that I would, but I'm kind of like, maybe I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. So we've got to have a little bit of, like I hate this. I think that people who are not targeted should have a little bit more compassion and vindicate us. But we got to kind of not get so angry at people who really don't know what's going on. Because like Drunken Ninja says, we're going to need them. It's going to come soon. When people, there's a bigger percentage of good people in the world. As we break down walls and build awareness and raise up education, those people are going to come out of the woodwork when it's socially acceptable. It's not socially, it's on the border of socially acceptable. We can kind of talk about this stuff, we're getting there, we're like pushing, but that's why a lot more TIs need to speak out, create their node, so that we're infecting back with the truth. Then these people who are doing the programs, we're gonna have to push them. We're gonna have to push them to where they're like, well, we can't really do this anymore. The public knows about it too much. The world knows about it too much. We're gonna have to move on to something else. I mean, that's one way, you know, and God probably has other ways too. Let me answer this text, guys, real quick. I finally got that downloaded thing off my phone. I had to get iTunes on my computer and then download like operating system 13 something. I finally got it off. So I have like 8 gigabytes free, so I can do some videos in my car now. I got to figure out. I really got to figure out when I can do that tutorial. Because I want like a bunch of people to have their equipment. I guess I could do one-on-ones. It's gonna kind of suck, but I could do that. It's not that hard, and it's not dangerous. It's not dangerous. Like what it's, I really think that with Stacy's, her attackers, you know, she's in California and she's got some really attackers with some extensive software and connections, I think. And I think that they busted up her first one. And then the second one, I think when she was plugging in a power cord that wasn't connected to anything, and it made the electricity in one of her rooms just completely go out. It sparked, but it wasn't connected. It wasn't connected to anything. So I was just like, how did that even happen? So I think that her attackers like hit it right when she was putting it in the outlet or something. I don't know what happened, but it's not dangerous, you know. A friend Ken did his, and he's like, "Oh man, this is working." He's like, "This is working." So, and he thinks he has a stemoceiver in his nose. I gotta have him on the I gotta have him on a live stream so we can go over some of that information, because I know people are like, they're like, "Oh, we're not being chipped anymore." I agree that it's an older thing that they did, but they still do it as a redundant system. You know, they still do these grain of rice chips and stuff like that as a redundant system, a backup system, and to intensify the targeting and to intensify the effect of the remote, the neuro manipulation. Hey, Tomahawk says electronic harassment is getting known more and more than ever before. It will soon come to an end. Let's pray for that. Let's pray for that. And while we do this stuff, we just got to organize as best we can. I know it's so hard as a targeted individual. It's so hard to organize my thoughts to even just talk sometimes. It's been better with the CBS driver. But while we do the other things, while we chase these other avenues, I recommend doing cleansing. I recommend doing the ZVS driver. I recommend doing the head shielding. I recommend doing Dave Case CD. I recommend doing the noise canceling hearing aids. You know, there's so many options now. I'd say the ZVS driver, I don't know, it's probably not as good as Dave Case CD, because if I stopped doing Dave Case CD, I still think I'd be hurt. Hey, Charles, man, how you doing? Charles says, hi, everyone. I hope you guys are fine. I feel like shit. Yeah, I'm sorry, Charles. Did you try the ZVS driver thing? I still feel kind of bad too. Like, I mean, I've got stuff that my attackers have done to my body it's going to have to heal up, and they're still getting through with a little bit, you know. And the V2K, I got severe neuropathy in my vagus nerve and my trigeminal nerve. So, you know, I don't know. And it seems like a lot of it's artificial. It seems like it really de-intensified with the ZVS driver. But like I've got, yeah, Charles says me too. Yeah, I got like neuropathy, man, from this stuff, from them just stimulating my nervous system all the time. And that's why we have to attenuate, because we've got to give our body at least a bigger percentage chance to heal through some of this while it's still going on. And of course, PTSD, right? I mean, I've got severe PTSD where, oh, dude, I was like looking at some of my older videos last night, and I was like, who the F is that guy? Like, I didn't even recognize myself. Like, not the way that I look or anything. I mean, I had a little bit more weight on me like 5 years ago. But man, this stuff has changed me. I mean, it's not like changed me emotionally where I'm like, react, I guess a little bit of that, but like changed literally my brain and how my brain neurologically works, how I communicate. That's so weird, guys. If you got older videos from like 5 years ago, going back and I was getting some good advice for myself. I tell you all that all the time. I watched a video called Power. Wait, with great power comes great responsibility that I did, and I said some things that I needed to hear from myself. It's so weird. I said some things that like actually really helped me last night, because I've been kind of you know, just it's good. Like I'm attenuating good, but this stuff is just crappy. It's gonna be crappy until it ends, and we're gonna have to find those pockets of happy moments and rest and relaxation. We may have to do, you know, I was thinking about this, guys. I'm not going to go into that right now. Charles says, if this program comes out, these gang stalkers will never get out of prison. I hope. I really hope that's right. Rick M says, hey, Rick. Rick says, PTSD. Yup, we are all battle worn. Yeah, I was thinking that this morning. I was like, man, I am like battle hardened. I was thinking war changes people. You know, war really changes people, and this is war. You know, this is war. We're in a war. We're in a war we're not supposed to be able to fight back, but we can. We can. You know, if we think outside the box, and our God is powerful. He is powerful. You can be in a situation where you're like, there's no way this is going to reverse. There's no way it's going to get better. This just, to my human mind, it seems like done. And God will do something to turn the tables, and you're like, wow, that was a simple thing that I didn't know about. He can do it. He can do it. He can do anything. So Swag Astronomer says, why is Dave CD better than the ZVS driver? Please read. I think that if I stopped using Dave Case's CD, I would still have protection from the ZVS driver, but I still think they'd be able to get more remote neural manipulation through. I think. I'm not sure, because I'm not going to test it out, right? I'm not going to test it out. I'm not sure which one's better. You know, it's like ZVS driver, Dave Case's CD at the same time is awesome. Then I would say the noise canceling hearing aids are a little bit down here for me. Then the headgear, and then wait, no, the grounding before the headgear, but all together, right? That's the most important thing about these defenses. I'll tell you now, it's stacking them, rack them up, rack them up, rack them up, because Brian and some people that are saying, hey, these weapons are like adaptable and you can't just use the passive shielding, they're going to adapt to that. It's kind of right. What I found out is that when you use a defense, right, it works really good at the beginning. Then my attackers throughout like 2 years with Dave Case's CD kind of adapted to it, and they started getting through like 10%, but they plateaued, right? So then I add other stuff, and it's mixing it up so that the adaptation that your attackers can do has its limits, right? Because this is the bidirectional stream of energy that's doing the remote neural, the neural manipulation and stuff. It is adaptive. But if you use combinations of stuff, that adaptation has very, very limited. It's very, very limited. You know, so rack them up, rack them up, rack them up. You know. Deb Full of Grace says Kyle Jargaring. I appreciate that, Deb, but I'm definitely not. I'm definitely just a guy. We can all do this. Like we should all be having YouTube videos, working on our, you know, but I appreciate y'all support. I couldn't do this without it. And that's what somebody else was saying, like making videos when you're targeted, it's kind of hard. You get real tired. You just get tired of talking about this stuff. But the support, you know, the support is unbelievable. You know, it carries you. So let's Jeff O says test use headphones. Cost Platinum are the best. Yeah, I use the Cost KTX1 Pro. Okay, Samsonite says one of Dr. Virtual 7's soundtracks is pretty good. Yeah, I think he does pretty good stuff. I do like Dave Case's CD better, but he does. Dr. Virtual 7 does some really good stuff. Yeah, Wayne Moore says, although I could do with letting off some steam. Yeah, I need to let off some steam too, man. I just want to pray to God today. It's Sunday. Tomahawk says Dave Case's CD is tops, but you must use earphones that go up to 2.24 kilohertz because it has ultrasonics on the CD. Yeah, so get the Cost KTX 1 Pro is the ones that he ones that he suggests. Samsonite says, I agree with Frank Allen. When something actually works, it will be bigger than sliced bread. I don't agree with that, Samsonite. As a matter of fact, I think it's kind of the opposite. I think that a lot of these defenses that really work, they slip through the cracks. You get a lot of targeted individuals that start saying nothing works. It doesn't work. It might not work for somebody because they don't try it right. They don't try it long enough. And then things that really, really work, they may not be used right. Like somebody may use Dave Case's CD like an hour a day. Of course, it's not going to work. You got to use it a lot, you know. So I think there's so many solutions that you can mix and match. That I think there's not one thing, right? I agree with that. I agree that if there's one thing that comes out that works 100%, yeah, it'll be bigger than sliced bread. But right now, what do we have? Ask yourself what we have. We have solutions and defenses that can tone down 20%, 30%. You add them together, you add up those percentages, you get to about 95 or 90%, 85% attenuation, and then you're looking at a bearable life. Maybe you can't work, but you could like go shopping, get Social Security and stuff like that. It's doable. I've done it. You know, I've done it to where, and it still sucks. Still sucks. Targeting still sucks. I want this to end because I get V2K when I'm going to sleep. I wake up and I'm not that sore, you know, because of the ZVS driver. I want it to end too. I want it to end, but I guess I gotta go to some of Frank's calls because he's saying the noise canceling hearing aids don't work, and I found that they've worked really, really well on the V2K and the remote neural manipulation. So I'm not sure what's going on over there. So is he saying who put that in? Samsonite. Is Frank Allen? Does he say that anything works? I guess I just got to go to a call and talk to him. Yeah, I think his targeting is very bad too. This is also the deal, guys. If you've been targeted for a long time without attenuating it, you're going to have to use some of these defenses longer, like the grounding and Dave Case's CD. You're going to have to use those for longer periods of time because your attackers are really hooked in, and they've strengthened that hook, and they've strengthened that cycle in your nervous system, in your brain, hooking into your nervous system in your brain. Some of these defenses, you'll have to use them for a long time to cut that cord because you're like, gee, and it's a strong connection. Over time, it gets stronger and stronger. So you got ga, you know, and then you knock it off, and then you got to kind of start over, you know. Okay, well, let me read. Okay, Jeff O says Frank is more looking for the one miracle, the silver bullet. We just haven't, I don't think that's really the solution right now. I think the solution is rack them up, rack them up, rack them up. Use a bunch of different things because that'll help with the adaptation of the weapons. I just got to talk to Frank. I used to talk to Frank on his calls and stuff. He's a cool guy. Like I have no problem with him, but and I think there's different protocols. So some defenses do work for some people and they don't work for others. Like here's an example. The grounding works. The grounding will work for you if you're a TI. But I ground on my left leg because I've had extensive vagus nerve stimulation, like negative vagus nerve stimulation. So I put the grounding on my left leg and it actually stops that, it actually stops that. But for other people who aren't getting the vagus nerve stimulation, they might put it on their left leg and it just works like regular grounding, right? Because their vagus nerve's not being stimulated. So it's like it would work for all the targeted individuals that experience most of the pain on their left side or the most extensive pain on your left side. Let me guys, let me share my screen. I want to go to some of these thanking God for miracles. I've had some miracles in my life with the ZVS driver. I hope you guys have too. I feel like when we're thankful, that breaks the cycle of these bad things that are going on because you're focusing on the things that you can be thankful in your life, and it breaks that negative cycle. The more stress and the more that we're like, oh, this sucks and it's horrible and I can't do it, it's going to put you more and more in that cycle. I find that when I'm in a lot of pain, I'm like, what can I do to make this better? Ice packs, ice packs, like things, Mylar, things that might not work forever, but just for that moment. Tylenol, what can I do? What can I get an inch up? And you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised with how your body can feel better because it's like putting pain in our body, but it's also tricking our brain and our nervous system into intensified pain. So if you can kind of break that cycle, it'll feel a lot different sometimes. This is a very tricky torture here. Because our nervous system is how we experience and sense things and how we measure pain to our body, right? And if they're manipulating our nervous system, then they can, intensify the pain level feeling when it may be not as bad. And you can do certain things to unentrain that, then it's a whole new ball game. It's like, oh, wow, this isn't that bad. How did I even do that? How did I even mess with these weapons that are supposed to be so godlike or whatever, which I don't think these weapons are godlike at all. I mean, all these things is, infrasound, ultrasound, electromagnetic frequencies. It's just the world isn't very used to them yet, But when the world becomes used to them, we'll have stuff that we can just put a shield. It'll make a field around us and block this stuff. Hopefully, hopefully. Let me go ahead. Let me read some thanking God for miracles. Just want to thank God for some miracles. I feel like we should all do that. I know, guys, that some of you are just like, what are you talking about? My life is so hard with the targeting and everything. But try and think of something positive. Try and think of all the positive things you can get in your mind, all the positive things in life, even if it's just a cup of coffee in the morning or a friend that you talk to who believes you about this, or a girlfriend for me who I really love, my family, this ZVS driver working, something that maybe you used recently that works. Let's pray. Let's pray while I read these. In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, in the name of Jesus Christ, dear God, please help every targeted individual in the world today. Please help to reduce their suffering. Please help solutions, not only my solutions, but solutions that other targeted individuals are trying to get out to TIs, to help TIs, to work for them. Please help us find more solutions. Please just shower miracles on us. Shower miracles on us. Please end this program. Please end this program. Please give us that miracle. Please make it come up soon. And thank you, God, for the miracles that you have given us in our life. Just help every targeted individual out there. Give them strength and solutions. Give them what they need in this moment to not have this be unbearable. Okay. So I'm gonna end the prayer after I read a couple of these. I might not read the. I was gonna read. No, I guess I will, about how miracles work in our life. So let me read a couple of these. Thank you, Lord, for the gift of faith and for allowing me to see your miracles. Amen. When you least expect it, God answers and miracles happen. Sometimes God has weird timing. Sometimes, and with this, it's amazingly bad. This is a very extreme time for humanity. It's a very extreme time for us as targeted individuals, but God sees how extreme it is. And sometimes he balances with very good extreme things. So you must keep believing. You must keep believing. Believing is so important, y'all. I know that there's some people out there hurting so bad, and you're like, belief, I need something to stop this murder. You know, believing that you will find a way, it's sometimes the only way that you can find a way. I don't understand the science of belief. I think I went over a couple of articles of that. Believing is so important. Breaking the cycle where you can feel positive, where you can feel a little bit positive, where you can feel like things are going to change, then they can. That's the hardest thing about this is it's a undertow. It's an undertow of negativity and death and pain and all these bad things. And if we sit there and we say, because I have for a long, I was looking at my older videos, I was a lot more negative. I was a lot more negative, kind of. I was a lot more negative. I forgot what I was going to say, but oh, I totally forgot what I was going to say. But you just got to break the cycle. You got to break this undertow. You got to talk about the negative things. Don't get me wrong. We got to talk about the negative things, how bad it is, but kind of do it like, oh, this is so freaking bad and it's so unjust. This is Satanism. God, I felt like I was dying when they were targeting me, but I'm going to try and do this to make it better, right? Always balance out with some kind of solution, some kind of hope. I want to say this. Can I nerd out for a second, guys? It's Sunday. I think y'all will forgive me. I want to nerd out. There was this, I think it was on the Justice League movie, which a lot of people didn't like. I loved it. I love every movie I see pretty much, especially superhero movies. I was going to say something about TC because he was like Mr. Superhero wannabe or something like that, but I'm not. I'm not going to do that. I don't like fighting with other targeted individuals, no matter what the situation is. I was going to say this. I wanted to say, I really didn't want to get into that. Okay, I'm going to stop myself. Okay, I wanted to say this. Okay, in the Justice League movie, at the beginning of it, Superman says this. He says, my dad once told me that hope is like car keys. You may lose them from time to time, but if you look in the place where you last left them, you'll probably find them. You'll probably find them if you look in the last place you left them. I love that saying. It is how things have worked in my targeting. I lose hope sometimes. We all lose hope. But if we go back to the same place where we found it, like that's one of the things, guys, about having older videos. Like sometimes I'd say things and I meant everything that I said. I mean everything I say now. But hearing my younger self, who wasn't so battle torn, it gives me a lift up. It's so weird. It's so weird, the things that if you really you dig like a rabbit digging a, I guess that's a bad metaphor, but you know what I'm saying. You dig, you follow leads and stuff like that. You will be amazed at what God does. But we've got to work for it. Like just saying, hey, somebody fix this for us, you'll find no hope. You'll find no hope. People will do stuff. They'll do stuff and they'll move us forward. You got to be proactive, guys. You got to be proactive. You got to ask God to help you be proactive. It's like you can't just go to a doctor and get this fixed. You can't just get it. Authority figures aren't going to fix this for us right now. So we've got to prepare for the worst, which is we're left on our own to help and defend for ourselves right now, while we get more help. And that's why, the defenses, the attenuation is so important. So with God, all things are possible. That's Matthew. Is that Matthew 14:26 or 19:26? Matthew 19:26, with God, all things are possible. Let me go back to that. God, thank you for the simple things in life. That's a great one for miracles, because sometimes the simple things in our life are gonna be the miracles right now. When we're dealing with all this stuff in our career, the things that we wanted to do in life are all torn apart. Sometimes you're gonna find the most hope and the most faith in the simple things, the most joy in those simple things. Seems like this program, they can't take once a week me going to Starbucks and getting a frappuccino. I guess it could. I guess it could take all my money. Can't take conversations with my mom and dad. Can't take, can't take me talking to Stacy, my girlfriend, who I love. There's a lot of things that are just simple things. I guess those are pretty big things, the ones you love, but simple things like conversations with the ones you love. So have faith in God. Miracles happen. Fact. Miracles happen. We're going to go over now, guys. I'm going to share my screen again. Let me stop the share. But it's important how we find our miracles. I mean, that's kind of my number one thing. You can't find your miracles when you're waiting for other people to find them for you. You have to find them, right? You have to get with God and find them. I'm not saying we can't give each other hope and solutions and things like that, but being proactive is number one, guys. It's number one. Okay, I want to read this real quick. How is God working in the world? Understanding. Okay, let me end the prayer, because I wanted to read some of those. Let me read one more and then end the prayer. I want to read maybe a couple more. Like those. Those who leave, this is good. Those who leave everything in God's hand will eventually see God's hand in everything. That has happened to me. I see God's hand in even horrifying stuff that I'm going through, because it's like God has put my heart into being proactive about situations. When you're in a horrible situation and you do everything you can to make it right, God's going to put his hand in that, and you're going to see miracles. We still leave it to God, right? I leave the outcome to God. And I think that's a mistake that I've made over the years, saying this program's going to end soon. Like, I can guarantee you the program's going to end soon. Now, I hope for that. And I still believe that. But sometimes the outcome, we've got to just do our best. We've got to do our best to try and make that outcome happen. But then we've got to leave the outcome in God's hands, But it doesn't mean just sit there and do nothing. But we leave everything in God's hand when we do our best. When we do our best and we say, I've done my best, and now I've got to stand, like what Deb wrote in chat. It's do everything you can and then stand and be patient, waiting for God's providence. And we're going to read about providence. We're going to read about the difference between miracles and providence. So never stop believing in hope, because miracles happen every day. Fact. Deuteronomy 10:21, he is the one you praise. He is your God who performed for you those great and awesome wonders you saw with your own eyes. 1 Chronicles 16:34, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. God is good. We have a creator. He's given us a life here. We don't understand why so many things are so evil and children die and things like that. We don't understand the balance that he has after this life. He is great. He is great. He's given us this gift. I think sometimes we look at our lives and we're like, well, I've done this. I've looked at my life and I've said, well, I'm dealing with all these bad things, right? Why would you do this to me, God? Why would you do this to me, God? But then you don't look at just the gift that life is, that you're alive, and that suffering is a part of life. It's just a part of life. It's a part of what we go through. Now, this is extreme. This is extreme, and it's injustice. There's been injustice since the start of mankind. We've got to understand that our life is a gift. Other people's lives are a gift. That's why these people who are attacking us, they're cursed. They'll always be cursed. They may be cursed until God like works it out in the afterlife for them, or they, you know, or they go to hell or whatever. But if you don't safeguard life, it's a gift. God wants us to safeguard life, reduce suffering. It's a gift. This is the gift. Even though I'm sitting here in pain, I'm attenuating and stuff like this. So many people are suffering. It's a gift to be alive. Just this life. I think that we maybe misunderstand things sometimes, you know, about, you know, I'm suffering, so there must not be a God. But this is how he created the universe, you know. He created the universe with suffering in it. And men are the ones that create extreme suffering, you know, extreme suffering. So let's read. God surely listens, understands, and knows the hopes and fears you keep in your heart. For when you trust in his love, miracles happen. Miracles happen. Trusting in God's love is breaking the cycle. Trusting in God's love is breaking the cycle. Trusting that the universe will give you what you need to get through. And this is something I want to say. It may sound egotistical, guys. It may sound really egotistical. I don't know. Can you do this? Can you find victory in your life? Can you find victory in your life? Even if this program ends till your death. Yes, 100% you can find victory. You can find victory, you can find relief, you can find love, you can find pretty much anything you want. Can you? Can you? Yes, 100%. Will you? I have no clue. I guess that's not egotistical, but will you do it? I don't know. You and God know. You and God know if you're going to do this. You got to get with him. But it's 100%. Can you do this? Can you lead a can you have happiness in your life? Can you have love in your life? Can you have victory in your life? 100%. Guaranteed you can. You can. Will you? I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to you and God. It's not up to these people. It's not up to this system. The system has always done atrocious genocidal things, and people get through them the best that they can. This is the time we live in. It's happening, right? We've got to accept that in certain ways. We have to accept that and fight it as best we can. But this is just the time we live in. I'm starting to kind of, you know, I think about the founding fathers a lot, and I think that I took that for granted, how brilliant they were, how brilliant the founding fathers were, right? They tricked people into living lives of justice and law with the Constitution. They tricked people. They wanted people to be free and safe, and they tricked them. So when you get a society like this, and it's like, oh, well, you can get paid to murder, you can get paid to torture, people will just go along with it, a lot of them, because like we're kind of a special percentage. Like people who are non-compliant, there's like 30%, and then maybe on the other side, there's like 25% non-compliant people, then there's like 25% really, really compliant people. Then in the middle, you got about 50% that'll just go whatever way is like given the money, whatever way everybody else is going, which I guess would be, oh no, I meant, okay, I said that wrong. 25% really good people who will only do really good stuff, and then 25% really evil people, maybe 20%, maybe more now in this society, 25% that will just do evil, then 50% in the middle that will just kind of go either way, you know. Faith can move mountains, Matthew 17:20. Faith can move mountains. Faith can move mountains. Even when it feels like it can't change, that faith can change the situation. Miracles praise God through you. Miracles praise God through you. They praise him by honoring his creations, affirming their perfection. They heal because they deny body identification and affirm spirit identification, passing the body identification to the spirit identification. We need both. You know, we need both. When you pray and you ask for something, believe that you have received it and you will be given what you asked for. That's why I want you guys focusing on all the positive things. As a matter of fact, right now, do this for me. Everybody who's in this live stream, imagine what you want. You want this programmed in. I'm sure like everybody, I'm sure every targeted individual jumped to that in their head. I want this program in. Think about all the other stuff that you want. Then thank God for it. And let's do that every day. I want this. I want attenuation. I want to feel less pain. I want my children to feel less pain. I want this program over. We got to pray it every day. He might not be able to give the program ending tomorrow, but he'll give you something to hold on. He'll give you the strength to get through. Start thanking the universe. Start thanking the universe for getting you through it. I swear, guys, I swear I felt so torn up, in this targeting for so many years, and even now some. And I'm like, my body's done. The neuropathy's too bad. My brain doesn't work anymore. The memories don't work. It just doesn't work. I can't heal this anymore. And I said, no. This is what I said, because this is what my grandpa Sladen said. He was the first person close to me to die, that was really close to me to die. And he was on his deathbed. I've told you all this before. And this has saved my ass in this. It has kept my faith strong. He was on his deathbed, full of lymphoma and other cancers, probably from telephone lines or microwave towers or something like this, because my grandma had the same thing, and she, lived in that area. But he was on that deathbed, and he wasn't going to make it, and he knew it. And he said, I don't know, I need to look up the verse. I don't remember where it's from in the Bible, but even though he slay me, I will trust in him. So when I'm like, my head is, I can't think, I'm so stressed out, just super depression, can barely do it. Even though he slay me, I will trust in him. And when I trust God, a little bit further down the road, some miracle happens where I'm like, how did that happen? How do I feel this much relief from this? Oh my God, now I can help a lot of targeted individuals more. I mean, if you just trust in God. And I know there's death, we can get cancer and stuff like that. We don't know what's on the other side either, but just trust God. I can't guarantee you that things will work out the way that you want them to, but I guarantee you that he'll throw some miracles in your way. They might not be the miracles that you were expecting, might not be the path that you were expecting, but it'll be miracles. It's that belief. It proves God to me. As a scientist, well, I'm not a scientist, but I do like science. As somebody who's scientific, it proves God to me. When men who don't believe in God ruin the world and create darkness and Satanism that has never been imagined, and also, my attackers are messing with my memory, and also, it proves God to me that when we have faith, incredible things happen in the physical world. Like the physicality of faith, the physicality of belief, the God gene. We have a gene in us, so we will believe in a creator. That means that there is a creator. To some scientists who are inverted in their thinking, they say, well, the God gene is why people believe in God, but there's no God, right? That's what the inverted thinking scientists think. But that's not true, because there is a gene that's a God gene in us. There is a God. It's a one-to-one, easy. It's in our physicality. It's built into us. Our Creator has designed us to believe in him, to have faith. He's designed us like that. So if we don't, what happens? We can't function. We can't function spiritually. We can't function spiritually, and when we're not functioning spiritually, it's a lot harder to function physically. Let me go to this article. I really want to read this. I thought it was really interesting. And I just kind of wanted to update everybody, because a lot of people were texting me just wondering if I'm all right. I am. I'm doing a lot better. It's a transition. When you stop, it's like, because like the ZBS driver has been helping a lot. My attackers kind of get stuff through. It's an adjustment of my brain, because my brain was like being so locked down by the remote neural manipulation that it starts getting better, and I have to like get back to thinking the right way, because it's just like my brain is going through so many changes from the remote neural manipulation, which is, it's scary. I mean, that's scary. It's scary when your neural function is just being messed with. So sometimes I gotta kind of step back, and I gotta be like, I gotta just step back from this. Let me share this with you guys. I thought this was really cool. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. Yeah. Okay, so how is God working in the world? Understanding miracles and providence. The pages of the Bible are filled with the miraculous acts of God, and those who believe in the trustworthiness of Scripture surely believe in miracles. Yet today, when someone claims to have witnessed a miracle, even evangelical Christians tend to chuckle inside, perhaps attributing the miracle to an overactive imagination or the advancements of modern science. We are faced with a difficult paradox. On the one hand, we long for miraculous signs and wonders like those in Scripture. But often when we see or hear of events worthy of being called miraculous, we struggle to overcome our modern skepticism. Has God ceased to work in the world the way he did in biblical times? In order to answer this question, we need to develop a theology of miracles that will help us rightly understand the way God works in the world today so that we avoid the extremes of making everything a miracle on the one hand or allowing nothing to be a miracle on the other. We need to determine what a miracle is and is not. Wrong views of miracles. Many false views of miracles persist today. Let's see who wrote this, because this is kind of his opinion, but I liked his opinion. So January 16, 2014, it's from the Gospel Coalition, Justin Holcomb. So this is how, he's a theologian who, this is how he views it. And I think his view is pretty cool. I like it. So wrong views of miracles. Many false views of miracles persist today. For example, some people believe God created the world like a watch that just needed to be wound up, only to be left alone, operating according to a set of natural laws. Let me pull up my chat room on my tablet, guys. Let's see you guys. Drunken Ninja says, I've tried a Faraday cage, a grow tent, and it felt really calming as soon as it was closed, but the V2K was still there. Yeah, I had trouble, like with my Faraday bunker, I was blocking a lot of the external hits and even a lot of the remote neural manipulation, but the V2K, they like made it come in from the other side or something like that. Yeah, it's a good idea, Drunken Ninja. It's a very good idea. I think that I may need to go over that if you don't mind. I may need to go look up the grow tent and show everybody so that then they can maybe make their own little Faraday bunker. Rick M says, being saved is all the miracle we will ever need. To know, trust, live wholly unto Jesus is a blessing given freely by grace. Yeah, grace. By grace. We get through this by grace. We trust in God. Even though he slay us, we will trust in him. I don't understand the reasoning for it, guys. I don't get it, but I know that we have a creator that's good. The universe is set up a certain way so that people can use their free will and destroy each other's lives. And especially when they get away from God, more people do that. In communism, where they're worshiping the state, or Satanism, where they're worshiping themselves. When we worship God, our creator, even if we don't know what that is, like even if we don't like, I go through the name of Jesus Christ, right? The name of Jesus Christ, God, my creator. But even if like some people, I mean, it just to believe in that creator, it's so powerful. It's so powerful. You do the right thing. You make your world better even when you can't make everything better in the world. Is that a good saying right then? Let me say that again. You make, well, man, I just forgot it. My attackers wiped it. You make things better in the world, even though you can't make everything better in the world. I kind of like that. Samsonite says, I'm pretty sure an app could be made for a phone that would act like a Q-wave. Yeah, that's true, but phones put out non-ionizing microwave radiation. They don't put out scalar waves. There could be a function, there could be an app to maybe put a field around it, but the phone creates its own non-ionized microwave radiation. So I think they would be kind of contending with each other. I think that this the ZVS driver stuff, it blocks the scalar weapons. I think it blocks the layer of scalar weapons, but I think making that smaller is going to be a future thing. It's going to be in the next couple of years. People are going to keep making Tesla coils smaller, more powerful, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of solutions. I kind of think that the silver bullet is going to be so weird that I can't even imagine it. It's going to be so freakishly like, what? How does that work? It's like I can't even imagine how it, like if it's something that goes in the ears or, but I know it's out there. You know, I know that naval intelligence probably has it. I don't know, like you think about Donald Trump and you think about he's, you know, Russia or China would probably try and target him with these weapons, and they have to have the ability, well, even the left, even some of the deep state would probably target Donald Trump. But the people around him in the military have to have some kind of device to put on him where it's 100% effective. And I think they do. I think they do have that, where it's 100% effective for any kind of layers coming in. And it's probably something that has a lot of different frequency jammers, and it's small, but it has frequency jammers for ultrasound, infrasound, scalar waves, microwaves, and it's like, and it's constantly adapting, and it's really super expensive, probably like $100,000 or something like that, or I don't know, like a couple of $50,000 or something like that. But it's like this probably, I don't know. That's just conjecture. I don't really know. I don't know. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Amy Como. Amy Como says crystals have their own frequency. Put a rock in your ears, maybe. Yes, shungite, and somebody else talked about another one that's a black. It's a black kind of like shungite-looking rock, but I forgot what it's called. But yeah, I don't know. Some crystals, it doesn't seem like they do anything, but certain carbon-based minerals will absorb the non-ionizing microwave radiation. Silicone, carbon-infused, like linkstat and belostat, and then you got shungite, and then this other one, termican or something like that. But some of the crystals I think don't work. Some just regular crystals, I think it, you know, I don't really think they work. Amy Como says not quartz. Okay. Nicholas Hamlin, oh Lord, no, I could. No, oh Lord, no, I could replicate it with an Arduino and a few extra parts and a linear amplifier. I don't know what you're talking about, Nicholas, but it sounds awesome. Hey, Future Knowledge. Hey, Alec. Hey, Alexis. Okay, let me continue reading. I was hoping Stacy has to get ready for work. Man, she has to work, and I was hoping she'd pop in for a little while. She's getting really targeted hard. Please keep praying for her, guys. I wanted that ZVS driver up when she came back from work this week, and it really just really frustrated. Really frustrated because like it's great, like I'm getting a lot of attenuation, but it's like she's still getting targeted so hell I can't stand it. And then she has to go to, she's going to be at work till like Thursday or something, and then it's a mess. I don't know, we're going to try and figure it out. Yeah, Cheryl Lewis says Stacy, heart, and then wave. Yeah, thank you Cheryl. Yeah, please pray for her, guys. Hey, Native 321 says you can buy all kinds of crystals for cheap on wish.com. They have lots of cool ones. Okay. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Native. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, Drunken Ninja says, okay, I'll ask if they can leave her alone. Yeah, please do. Please ask if you know anybody that can leave her alone. Bad. I mean, she's working through it. We're working through it and stuff like that. It's just like I was really hoping to get that ZVS because it works so well. Okay, let's keep reading. Wrong views of miracles. Many false views of miracles persist today. For example, some people believe God created the world like a watch that just needed to be wound up, only to be left alone, operating according to a set of natural laws. In this view, God isn't usually involved in the world, and miracles are those times when he chooses to interrupt the laws of nature. But this view squeezes God out of any ordinary providential sustainment of the created order. That is, it assumes God doesn't normally act in creation, which, as we'll see, is not biblical. The second wrong view of miracles also tries to squeeze any divine action out of the world, but in a different way. This view suggests that there are really no such things as miracles because, by definition, miracles violate the laws of nature. However, because we don't have an exhaustive understanding of the laws of nature, how can we be sure any given miracle did in fact violate some such law? Ironically, this position happily admits some things that happen in the world surpass our comprehension. It just attributes those mysteries to science rather than God. The opposite of the second perspective is the God of the gaps view, which basically attributes anything we don't presently understand to the miraculous power of God, rather than explaining an extraordinary event by mere science. The God of gaps view explains any gap in scientific knowledge by divine existence or action. But as scientific knowledge grows and the gaps in our knowledge shrink, so does the God who supposedly filled them. Yet another wrong view of miracles turns every mundane action of God in the world into an extraordinary miracle. Michael Horton describes this view well in The Christian Faith. In reaction against naturalism, it is often asserted by Christians that God is in fact involved regularly in the course of their lives in the form of miracles. Starved for some practical sense of God's concern for their daily lives, many Christians flock to groups and individuals, promising them a daily encounter with miracles. What is lost in the bargain is a sense of God's ordinary providence, his ordinary providing for us, right? In and through creaturely means and natural processes that he has created and sustains. That is, some Christians are so worried that modern secularism has no place for God that they overcompensate, calling everything extraordinary that happens a miracle. But when everything is a miracle, nothing is a miracle. Miracles versus providence. One of the most basic Christian beliefs is that God, as the creator, sustainer, and redeemer of all life in the universe, acts in, on, and through that which he has created. In one sense, the entire Bible is an account of miracle after miracle, of God's continual special working in creation to redeem and restore a covenant people for himself. The Westminster Confession states this point succinctly. God, the great creator of all things, does uphold, direct, dispose, and govern all creatures, actions, and things, from the greatest even to the least, by his most wise and holy providence, according to his infallible foreknowledge, and the free and immutable counsel of his own will, to the praise of the glory of his wisdom, power, justice, goodness, and mercy. So what is a miracle? And how is a miracle distinguishable from regular divine action? How can we maintain both a robust understanding of general divine providence and special divine intervention in miracles? In order to understand miracles rightly, Christians must account for God's everyday sustaining providence. According to Wayne Grudem in his systematic theology, and I would like to say, I think for our sustainable providence, because we're targeted, really, it is a miracle. Like our providence every day that God takes care of us and helps us to do the little things, those are miracles in our situation. So I have a little bit of a different view on that, but I do like, when he speaks about providence, these things that God gives us all the time that aren't necessarily miracles. I gotta smoke my electric. I gotta quit these things. It sucks. Like when I'm feeling better and my better half is still hurting, it is worse. It's worse than me feeling bad. And I'm still dealing with stuff, but I may go on to that in another video. I don't want to, I just don't want to embarrass Stacy. I don't want to talk too much about her stuff. She can make videos about it too. So, okay. In order to understand miracles rightly, Christians must account for God's everyday sustaining providence. According to Wayne Grudem in his systematic theology, a miracle is a less common kind of God's activity in which he arouses people's awe and wonder and bears witness to himself. Or as Horton puts it, unlike God's ordinary providence, his miraculous intervention involves a suspension or alteration of natural laws and processes in particular circumstances. Notice both of these definitions of miracle presuppose that God is already involved in creation continuously. continuously. I believe so too. I believe that he may not speak to us like he did Moses or anything like that, but I believe that he's in the things that we do. I believe that he does do small miracles, especially in our case. Sometimes maybe this guy would think it's providence, just but in our case, since we're targeted individuals, even some smaller things that we need to get done are super big miracles, right? So it kind of changes the paradigm of what this article is talking about. We understand that God providentially guides and sustains our everyday lives. The distinction between natural and supernatural fades, Horton explains. We frequently distinguish natural and supernatural causes, but this too may reflect the false choice of attributing circumstances either to God or to nature. The scriptures know nothing of a creation or a history that is at a single moment independent of God's agency. The question is not whether God is involved in every aspect of our lives, but how God is involved. Therefore, with respect to providence, the question is never whether causes are exclusively natural or supernatural, but whether God's involvement in every moment is providential or miraculous. Interventionist views of divine actions see any activity of God as miraculous, diminish God's providential guidance, and create too strong a dichotomy between God's agency and creaturely agency. In contrast, a view that sees miracles as a special instance of God's activity acknowledges that even in his miraculous activity, God usually works through creaturely means, but he sanctifies them for extraordinary service. Right? Like how I read that is, we're targeted, right? We're targeted and we're being hit with all this stuff. God's working through us. God's, if you connect with God, God's working through you. And with your creaturely means, right? My creaturely means of discovering defenses and finding the headgear, and Dave Case inventing that CD. Through those creaturely means, he sanctifies them for extraordinary service. Please let me read that again. Even in his miraculous activity, God usually works through creaturely means, but he sanctifies them for extraordinary service. So the creaturely things that we're doing in service of God, because we're trying to work miracles, he's trying to work miracles through us, rather. He's trying to work miracles through us. All we have is creaturely means, right? We can get into the spirit, but when we work to reduce suffering, and those are creaturely means, like when we try and do things in the world, it's creaturely. But God sanctifies those actions for extraordinary service. For extraordinary service to humans that need it, for extraordinary service to your family around you, for extraordinary service just so people will know what's right, and do better. I really like that. I really like that. To be disappointed at not seeing Bible-like miracles in our own lives is to misunderstand the significance of God's providential care over creation. Not only when God intervenes extraordinarily, suspending his natural order, but in his design and faithfulness to that order. We have reason to give thanks, Horton writes, not only when one's cancer mysteriously disappears, but when it is conquered through the countless layers of creaturely mediation. Ultimately, God is the healer. Let me read that again. Horton writes, I agree with Dr. Horton on her channel, the TI, and I agree with this Horton who was saying this stuff. I'm not sure the first name of this Horton. Hortons are smart, though. Horton writes, not only when one's cancer mysteriously disappears, but when it is conquered through the countless layers of creaturely mediation, ultimately God is the healer. Whether we experience God's power in an obviously miraculous way, such as a healing, or simply through his providential guiding of a surgeon's hands. Ooh. God is equally near to us, for in him we live and move and have our being. So you see how they describe these things, these natural creaturely things, God sanctifies, right? Remember David and Goliath. David threw some pretty ordinary stones. They were probably pretty big, right? But he threw threw 3 of them. 3 is creaturely mean. You're throwing rocks at a giant, right? You're insane. You're throwing rocks at a giant. Run. But God took those creaturely means, the rocks, sanctified them for extraordinary service. And that's what I want to get across to everybody. We have to do it. We have to do this. We can do this. We're on our own right now. We're getting people to help us, rallies and court cases and everything like that. We have to use some creaturely means. Stumble through the darkness, grab some things. Don't stumble through the darkness, use some options that I'm putting out. Creaturely means God sanctifies them for extraordinary service. I know it, guys. I've experienced it. So on this Sunday, I wanted to talk about miracles. Maybe I'll read a couple more of the miracle quotes. Hey, PA man. Wayne says, yes, same shirt. When I record, they load old photos back on, so the storage is full. Charlie Brown, Cheryl, I've heard them using a filtered version of my voice. The pitch was off and it sounded weird. Yeah, Charlie Brown, my attackers have done my voice on B2K a lot. And I don't like it. They've used pretty much exactly how my voice sounds. And it's disturbing because I hear my voice when I play back my videos and I hate it. I hate my voice. I guess I don't hate it that much. Yeah, Alexis. In my V2K, in Audible. I say Audible V2K because there's some V2K that's subconscious, that it's bubbling up in your inner voice. There's synthetic telepathy where it's not subconscious V2K and it's still your inner voice, but then there's V2K that you don't hear audibly, but it bubbles up in your inner voice, and I consider that non-audible V2K. I consider when you hear the voice, like from this direction or from whatever direction or in your head or wherever, I hear it from this way right now, then it's what was I saying? Then it's an audible V2K. That's just a term that I use. I can't really hear them right now. Like it's been really, I'm sitting so close to my ZVS driver, I can't understand what they're saying. Okay, I heard the woman's voice. The woman, she's like, "This is crazy," but it's like but I can't pick up what the guy's saying because his tone is too low. But I can hear what the woman's saying because her tone is high, or her pitch is high. I'm having a really hard time hearing them. This is great. Okay, the guy just goes, "Baby, we got to do this," because he's like acting like he's the husband or boyfriend of the woman. But then I have different shifts, so they all do the surveillance role playing thing, and a lot of it's chatterbox. I think I don't know how much is chatterbox though. Yeah, Drunken Ninja says my V2K is all from the outside. Yep, mine too. Mine's never been in my head. It's never been like in my head, which I think that schizophrenia, I don't think it would be directional or outside of the head. I think it would be in the head, I'm not sure. I've never been schizophrenic and I've never really studied. I guess I need to study schizophrenia more so we can show the differences. And I'd like to show, because I'm pretty sure my psychiatrist believes me, and it worries her a little bit. It worries her a lot. And she's trying to help me as much as she can, but she just can't. I mean, she's powerless. She's going into her own practice. She can help me with some medications and stuff, the Ativan. And I don't want to go into this today, but for the neuropathy, I have to take Cymbalta. I'll just say it. I feel like that's going to be controversial because, I was thinking about doing a video just about that. The Cymbalta has actually really helped me because I have severe neuropathy on my neck, in my jaw, in my head. And I didn't want to take it because I'm worried that my attackers will be able to use it. My memory has been kind of bad because of the medication, and I'm not sure if their remote neural manipulation is like making that worse or anything. I've seemed to have done okay on this video though. Like my memory was okay. I only forgot a couple of things, but I did. I started taking Cymbalta because my psychiatrist was just like, I was just telling her how much pain I was in. She's like, and I was telling her about all the rallies and going to see Dr. Hoffer, and I'm going to contact the University of Pennsylvania, all these different things. but I did say, you know, I've got extensive pain over here. It's a lot of it's remote neural manipulation. Um, it's like it's stimulating and causing pain in my trigeminal nerve in the jaw and the vagus nerve all the way down, and it just messed it like sometimes guys on these videos, like I don't feel emotionally like Two-Face, right? But if you've ever seen The Dark Knight Rises, how Two-Face looks, like with his face burned and stuff, that's how it feels underneath my face sometimes. But I've been taking this Cymbalta and the nerve pain it's like these two things, right? Like I stack it up, I try and, you know, climb up. But I know a lot of people don't agree with taking medications and stuff like that. I've got to use everything in the trunk, right? I'm just gonna because I got to keep going and doing activism, and I found that it's helping a lot. Like Cymbalta, I think, because it's a SRTI. I'm not sure. I'm not. It's something like that, but it's for depression and for nerve pain. Like it's a nerve, kind of blocks nerve pain. So I think for this remote neural manipulation, it would be a good idea. I'm not saying, I'm just telling y'all what I'm doing. I kind of wanted to stay away from saying it because I know that's controversial. We don't trust, a lot of targeted individuals do not trust pharmaceutical drugs. But, you know, with my case, it's like I want to find things that are very mild that, you know, you know, if I needed to get off them, I could, but also that things that are good chemical shielding. And Cymbalta seems to be good chemical shielding. Okay, Drunken Ninja says, I will try to make a Discord in a couple of weeks so we can all talk about our problems because it will take forever to write it down. Okay. I want to go to your Discord, Drunken Ninja. Send me an email, man. Charlie Brown says, speaking of miracles, sometimes I find myself swimming in my attacker's negativity and hatred. There's always someone sent to me to pull me out and talk me away from it. It is truly amazing. Yeah, that happens to me too, Charlie Brown. We got to do that for each other, right? Think about that. Think if we all create little nodes, right? And we're supportive to each other, even when we're hurting. Even when we're hurting, try and be supportive to other targeted individuals. You know, try and lift yourself up by helping other people. And then if another targeted individual is hurting, they're going to run into a targeted individual that's really helping people and trying to relieve people's suffering. We can do this, guys. We can do this. I don't know when the program's going to end. That doesn't matter. We can do this. Like, we can get victory in our lives. We can reduce our suffering. We can pull ourselves up. You know, I don't know, like, how good our lives are going to be, and there's going to be some damage. We can do this. I mean, we can keep going. We can keep going, and we can find happiness in our life. We can find some moments of relief. It's possible no matter how badly you're targeted. Saying that, I know there's some people with a lot of damage to their bodies that may not be able to be fixed, but we got to believe it. You know, we got to believe it. So, Future Knowledge says, Wayne Morris, they can see through your eyes and hear through your ears with this technology. Yeah, remote neural monitoring. Definitely remote neural monitoring. I was in Florida and I was out in a little kayak, right? And they could hear what I was saying. Like I would say something in the kayak. They could also read my thoughts in the kayak. They could see what I was looking at in the kayak, in the V2K, out in like just nothing anywhere. They were hitting me like in the middle of the bay, and I was in this kayak at my parents' place in Florida. Hey, Jennifer. Jennifer says they can block the effects of many medications. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about too. It seems like the Ativan, though, it seems like they can't block it. It seems like it, because the Ativan messes with the nervous system, it seems that they're not able to block it or manipulate it much. And it's a very low dose. It's 0.5 milligrams. I'm not sure with the Cymbalta, but I'm going to try it. I'm definitely going to try it too, because I know a lot of other people are just in so much nerve pain and they can't, you know, it's unbearable. And I really want to find nerve blockers because a lot, you know, my research has shown that this is like an amplification of pain, stimulation of pain to the nervous system. That's like the biggest thing that I've kind of dealt with other than external hits and V2K. We've got to find some chemical shielding that's really effective to just to buffer down the nervous system. So people, and it might be a pharmaceutical medication, but it's better than just being in pain and something terrible happening, and you know, and it just keeps cycling negative. We may have to try some very mild things that are proven, and it's controversial even to me, guys. But I'm just trying to think of everything, and I think maybe taking like, you know, 30 milligrams of Cymbalta a day. I don't know how much you take or whatever, but taking it and it reducing your pain so you're not always in unbearable pain. It will also help the pain of the external hits too, because it's gonna affect the way that your nervous system feels pain. We've just got to pull out everything. We got to pull out all the stops, in not danger stops, right? I don't want us doing things that are really dangerous. Like the CVS driver, it has a little bit of a risk. There's a little bit of a risk. The Tesla coil is hot. You got to cut some cables and put it. If you do it right, it shouldn't be dangerous. With the Cymbalta, it could be a little bit of a risk. The attackers could be, there can be a little bit of a risk. We have to take risks, right? We have to take risks. But yeah, I agree with that, Jennifer. I think they can. I think they can. I'll tell you, and I'll tell you guys what. Kratom is part of my defense, and I don't talk about it enough. Kratom is a part of my defense, and I think that everybody, like, if I didn't take Kratom, all these defenses would be working okay, but I would still be in a lot of fiery nerve pain. It would be a little bit, it would be like 15% worse, you know. So Kratom, taking the white vein in the morning, green vein maybe in the evening, and then red vein in the night, that helps so much. Helps so much, guys. Drunken Ninja, you can't find Kratom. Go to CBD Kratom online. Go to CBD Kratom online, but it's kind of expensive. There's some cheaper ones. I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you, Drunken Ninja, on the cheapest one I can find. Wayne Moore says, knock, knock, crack. Wayne Moore says, when it ends, I'm paying next door, is it? Future Knowledge says, should I do a review of medical marijuana on my channel? What do you guys think? I think that'd be a good idea. I think that marijuana can help the mind control a lot. I think it can, sometimes it can make like V2K worse, because I've smoked marijuana when I've been targeted. It can increase appetite if this is hurting your appetite. But I think CBD oil gives you pretty much everything besides the high. I think the CBD oil gives you everything that's good for your body except the high. You know, I don't know, you might want to do like a comparison. Like, what can medical marijuana do for this? What can CBD oil do? I don't know. I mean, I'd enjoy anything you do, Future Knowledge. Drunken Ninja says, people might think it's the cannabis causing your problems. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're tripping out. You know, you're hallucinating because of the marijuana. Yeah. Charlie Brown says, be better. Only resort to violence when you know it can be proven that you are defending yourself or protecting the life of another. Yeah, that's the only way. And this, the way this works, this targeting works, is we're being hit by remote neuro weapons or remote weapons. I'd be very careful when confronting your neighbors. If you need to confront them with questions, and you know, I just be very, because you can get things really stirred up where it might not be your neighbors shooting ground weapons at you, but then you got them stirred up, and then somebody comes and talks to them and says, hey, they're crazy over there and you need to do these noise campaigns and stuff like that. They'll use the fact that they're hitting you with remote neuro weapons and that you think it's your neighbors, and they'll get you and your neighbor into a fight. So be very, very careful when confronting neighbors. And I think that the way, you know, if we do violence and stuff, it's just false flag, we're crazy, whatever. It's the way to fight this, man. Information, use your mouth, use your brain, use these defenses, get feeling better. You know, the rallies, the court cases, let's keep rolling on. Let's keep going down and checking out the University of Pennsylvania. We need people checking out Melinda Kidder and making some videos about Melinda Kidder and Dr. Stanager, how much it costs, does it work, results for other TIs. We need so much stuff. So much, we needed all these different angles we got to do, you know. Forgot my point about that, but we got to do a lot of different angles, and it's going to take a lot more TIs. Like, so people got to perceive this right. Like, I'm not, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm not really a leader, but I guess sometimes I am. You know, I'll nerd out to you guys what I've been throughout my life. Let me tell you what I've been throughout my life. If you guys know the X-Men, you know Iceman, right? You know Iceman. He's the cut up of the team. He's powerful. He has a superhuman. He has a very powerful mutant power, but he's kind of the cut up of the team, and he, you know, he's not really the leader type. He doesn't really want to lead. He wants Cyclops or Professor X to lead, and he just wants to tell jokes and kind of increase everybody's morale and stuff like that. Well, that's what I've been through most of my life, you know, kind of making my family happy and my friends, but never really being the leader of the group. I don't know why I'm talking about that, but it sometimes feels like when you're a targeted individual and you start making a channel, it's like you have to be a leader. You can't just, you have to be that I don't know. It's been very weird. And I guess we're all leaders. You know, how I think about it is we're all leaders now. We're all being merged. We all have to take up leadership positions. And the more of us that do, it's going to be the more nodes, the more informational nodes that other TIs can come to, support each other, gain morale, you know, infect with the true information of what's going on. Completely necessary. So kind of going back, and I'll do a video responding to, I think her name was Cola T. And Cola T was very, very frustrated, and I understand when we can't get out in the street like today, we have to do whatever we can do while we're following these leads. I think following leads is a good way to say it. We're looking for leads, like with Dr. Hoffer, University of Pennsylvania, and I'm just one TI, dude. I don't have an organization or anything. It's just me going and like throwing it up on YouTube so other TIs go and try it too. So that's what you can do. If you don't have an organization, you can also be in an organization, but you can create a YouTube channel and say, okay, I'm going to go file reports with the FBI. Then I'm going to get on a video and say, this is what the FBI told me. And you can keep reporting things, following leads or whatever. Probably filing a report with the FBI is not going to get us anywhere, but you could follow leads and do projects and then put them on YouTube so then other TIs will think about doing that project, right? So in that way, one person can can break open a hole that other TIs can run through, right? And that's how we can fight. One of the ways that we can fight not having as many numbers, or not having as many numbers stepping out in front as the other guys do, as the bad guys do. That's how and there's a lot of ways that we can compensate for not having the intense numbers and resources that they have. There's many, many different ways. There's many creative ways to multiply our activity, to multiply our productivity, to multiply our spreading of awareness. You know, it's hard to think of them when your brain's being just mashed up, right? Very hard to think of creative ideas, right? So think of that logic, guys. Very hard to think about creative ideas when your brain's all mashed up. And then I'm saying, hey, get some attenuation, do this stuff. Why do you think I'm saying that? So we can think of better ideas. You can make a channel and then do projects and things like that, report on them. Then other TIs can spread that. We've got it. We never have used YouTube the right way. And I'll just go ahead and say that. And I'm not saying it out of anger. Just we just haven't. Like, it's even caused me to use YouTube in the wrong way because I see how everybody else is doing it, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna be the only one like fucking acting like this is a war or whatever. And a lot of people are doing great. I'm just saying that how regular YouTubers use YouTube is they make their channel and they talk about their thing and they put advertisements on there and blah blah blah. We should have been using this as an spreading information, like in a war, like spreading information of what's happening, getting on there every day when we can't do anything else, and not really using it, not really caring about the thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribers, blah, 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 you know, but using it as a, and using it also to promote other people's channels, like 5 every time you do a video, or 1 every time you do a video, or something like that. There's many, many better ways to use YouTube than it's been used the entire time. Not saying that a lot of stuff has not, you know, awareness has come out of using YouTube. We're just using it wrong. Like we're in a war where we're being killed. Like to get up on here and just be like, okay, I'm gonna go through some information today. I mean, we really need to be saying, oh look, Ramola did this thing, and I'm gonna play a couple of that. Everybody go over there and like that. You know, get this out on Facebook, get this out on Twitter. We should be organizing and pushing out videos that are major importance, like getting every targeted individual that we can to boost those out, and then promoting other TIs. Also, I mean, using this as information flow for the correct information flow. I know it's hard, and I'm not criticizing anybody. It's very hard to do this when we're being targeted, but that's why I say let's attenuate this stuff, because it's impossible to do anything when you're being targeted so bad. So I just want people to understand that. I know that people are frustrated, but I'm not just countering. You know, the defenses are not just, oh, I'm countering my attackers, and that's what I don't care if the program ends, and I don't care about anybody else. I'm just going to counter my attackers with these little. That's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, okay, we got to attenuate. We got to attenuate so we can feel better, and then chase all these leads, you know. And it should be very hopeful that a lot of these single TIs, and I'm not saying single like single or married, I'm saying just one TI, these channels grow and they do a lot of good, right? So look at that as a targeted individual, and try and take that example and do that and follow your own leads. What leads do you want to chase in this? Do them, work them out, then maybe put them up on YouTube if they're successful, right? And then other TIs, right? Just like the CVS driver. It's from 2017. I'd never heard about it. So this time when we do it, I want comments, I want bunches of videos, I want bunches of people saying if it works or doesn't work. The works. I want the works on it so we can spread this information, you know? Wayne Moore says they are gimping my channel. You got great views, man. You got some great views. You're getting a lot of subscribers. I think people really love your videos, man. I think you've been doing really good. Cheryl says, Kyle, so what do you do when you are constantly bashed? Let them get away with bad mouthing? What do you mean? What do you mean, Cheryl? Like V2K or what? What do you do when you are constantly bashed? Let them get away with bad mouthing? What is that about, Cheryl? You talking about my attackers? Well, for my V2K, the best way, the thing that actually reduces it, and it'll actually lower the V2K when you really ignore it. I mean, of course, I'm using defenses too, but when your focus is on something else, all of this stuff they're connected to you with works less. It doesn't work as good when your focus is off of them. And I know it's hard. It's taken me many, many years to kind of do it. Oh, whose channel? Cheryl Lou says, no, Kyle, no other channels. I guess maybe you're talking about TC. Are you talking about TC? How he was kind of bashing me? And Jeff? No, I just wanted Jeff to come on and give his side of the story, because it was a one-sided thing, where TC got to tell his side of the story. I don't like fighting with other TIs. I mean, I like TC's live streams. He's people, targeted individuals are getting help over there. They're speaking on the phone. I just don't, my bottom line is I don't want to fight with targeted individuals, no matter what the circumstances. People have to kind of make their own decisions about people. Is that what you're talking about, Cheryl? Oh, okay. Cheryl Lou says, Kyle, I'm talking about other TIs. Yes, now me. Yeah, I really didn't plan on, I kind of took off the week, not because of that, but just, we got to get shit done, guys. We've got to defend ourselves. We've got to do some of this stuff. We got to try and stop this program. I'd say just if you're having problems with another, I'm just going to be general, guys. I really am. We've got to pick our battles. We have got to pick our battles. This is a fight. I'm fighting these people who want to murder me. Fighting a system that's full of lies and people gang stalking me. I'm fighting to try and protect my girlfriend, who is, targeted so severely. We've got to pick and choose our battle. And my family is being targeted. So I got to find a way to push forward in going back and forth with another targeted individual. It'll get us some views, right? Targeted citizen is getting views from that channel, Degeneration Nation, bad mouthing him, and he's getting a bunch of people coming over there. People like drama. I get that. I don't. I actually, it doesn't empower me, and I don't care about the views as much as solutions for the targeted individuals that come here for solutions, spiritual and physical. And I think that if you have a problem with somebody, it's best to just stay away from them. We got to pick our battles. He bashed me. Like he said that I'm a superhero wannabe. He's basically calling me an agent. He's basically calling me another Michael Barden because he thinks Michael Barden's an agent. But I just have to say, like, Targeted Citizen is growing subscribers way faster than I grew subscribers. I've been doing this for 6 years. Like, I only had 1,000 subscribers through the first 4 years. Like, I only picked up 1,500 subscribers in the last 2 years. Because people weren't really watching TI videos. Like, I was, way back when. So it took me a long time to get 2,500 subscribers. With Michael Barden, he went on crowdsourcing the truth. So he had a bunch of people who were not TIs coming over his channel, padding his subscribers so he'd get more subscribers. And it was a very natural, organic process of how he did that. But Targeted Citizen's getting way more subscribers than I got when I first started my channel. So I don't understand this agent stuff. And especially when, and I'm sorry, Cheryl, I'm sorry that's happening, but I think that people really don't know what's going on, right? The problem is this, that we do these videos and people come to one video or they don't know what's happening in the background. And then it just becomes a he said, she said thing to some people. It's like they believe their favorite YouTuber. So some people believe me and Jeff. Some people believe Targeted Citizen. It's just a complicated situation because I do like what he's doing. I like a lot of stuff he's doing. Just on this thing that he did, that he's doing to people, I disagree with him on, and I kind of wanted to just get Jeff's side of the story out. But I think that I've thought about it hard, and I don't want to fight with any TIs, period. If TIs want to fight with me, that's fine. I mean, he can say I'm a superhero wannabe or naive or whatever. I don't hate him at all. Like, I don't hate him at all. I like some of the stuff he's doing. I like a lot of the stuff he's doing. I think that, I don't even want to go into it. I don't want to go into it because I don't want him to do another video, and I don't want it to go back and forth. I want to move on. I want to move forward so we can get some of this stuff done and people can reduce their suffering. I'm really sorry about that, though, Cheryl. Cheryl says, Kyle, you are my superhero for helping me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Wayne Moore says, superhero wannabe. Sick burn, brah. Yeah, sick burn, brah. I'm not a superhero wannabe. I am a superhero. Oh. No, I was just laughing. I was laughing when it gets, I mean, that's his personality, That's Targeted Citizen's personality. He's almost like I was watching him the other night. He almost kind of reminded me of Alex Jones a little bit. He's just talking all the time and just like talk. He's a targeted individual. He is helping some people. He is helping some people. So I just want to say I'll just say good things. When he was making fun of me, it's kind of like, I mean, he even brought my girlfriend into it. But the way that he does it, I don't think he's really trying to, I just don't think he's trying to be very malicious. I think that he feels attacked and he's going to be, he feels attacked all the time. He feels like he's made to be the bad guy all the time. And so he's kind of, that's what he does in life, is he kind of, gets there first, maybe. I don't know. I don't know, man. He's not the bad guy. We're all just guys, especially if we're TIs. We're all just guys. And I think that people can make mistakes. I can make mistakes. He can make mistakes. Everybody can make mistakes. And I don't know. We're all just guys. Nobody has to play the bad guy or whatever. But just for my channel doesn't work with drama. Like I just get really stressed out, and I'm like, what the hell? I mean, sometimes I watch drama on YouTube. It's like interesting, but you can't get stuff done. It's always about the drama, and really the solutions or anything that's going to help us is going to fall by the wayside. It'll be more entertaining, but it would be more entertaining. That doesn't matter at all, right? I mean, when we're dying, we don't really need to be entertained. It helps us get our minds off. I don't know. That's all weird, man. It's all weird. The artist of Elion says, "Don't attack the girlfriend." Yeah, I was really surprised that he did that. He was like, have you ever met your girlfriend? He's bringing her in there. No. And then he brought Kevin on, and I don't think Kevin really knows Jeff at all. I think Kevin maybe has been on some conference calls with Jeff, and I think that maybe, I don't know, that seemed like it spoke for itself, right? That's how I kind of see it. I see that he kept going with it, and now it's, I don't know. Well, he says he doesn't watch my channel. He said he wanted me to keep his name off my channel. So I hate it too, man. He has a lot of great qualities. I'd like to be his friend. I kind of held off because I saw how things were working out between him and people, and I was like, ooh, I don't want that to happen to me. But he has a lot of good qualities. That's as far as I want to take it. I want to get stuff done. We can get this done. We can get some of this suffering attenuated, and we can actually put out some useful information. I feel like we're going to get, I don't know, just the drama just doesn't get us anywhere, and it really becomes heavy after a while, and as targeted individuals, we should look at our mistakes. I'll look at my mistakes. Everybody should look at their mistakes, and we should move on, Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was like laughing the entire, because he's just fun. He's a funny guy. Like, and I'm not saying that in an insulting way. I'm just saying he's like when he's saying stuff, he'll do that little smile or something. Like he's like, oh, Kyle, Kyle, and he'd like smile. He's a funny guy. He's got a very entertaining personality. So I see why he gets some views, and he's building up and people like him. The problem is, it's like when we're talking about stuff that happened individually off of videos, and he's talking about that stuff, people who like him are just going to be like, yeah, screw them. And then people who like me are going to be like, yeah, screw him. And then it's just going to divide people, right? So nothing ever really gets fixed. And then it's just like targeted individuals get more divided. So we really do, I think we need to fix some of those things with, maybe not go on video. I think he kind of, I'm not going to say, I think he kind of likes that. He kind of likes the drama. It kind of picks up his channel and stuff like that. I don't know. I think he's pretty funny. He has a lot of good qualities. I don't want to fight with other target individuals. I really wasn't offended. I mean, he didn't dig deep. He didn't dig deep on me. I guess he did kind of dig deep on Jeff. I don't know. Y'all talk to me, Cheryl, Jeff. Yeah. Jeff says, yeah. Okay, Jeff says Kevin does not know me. Yeah, Kevin does not know me. Yeah, I couldn't either, Cheryl. Cheryl says, Kyle, I couldn't even understand Kevin. I couldn't either. I know that Kevin doesn't know Jeff. Like, so that was it. I think that's the thing. I want to leave it at this. That video spoke for itself. Jeff came on here, told his version of the story, then TC did what he did. It kind of spoke for itself. I don't know, man. It just makes me nervous. It just makes me nervous. I don't like fighting with other TIs, especially TIs with channels. If they're getting, dude, y'all got to understand. Y'all just got to understand, man. When I see a TI with a channel and people can call in and stuff, you know, maybe just people who maybe have individual bad situations with TC just got to get away from him to other channels, and I'll try and do more on my channel so some of those people can come over here. Um, that's a tough one because he's giving people support. Some of his ideas are pretty good about the cleansing. You know, I think that because he doesn't like me, he's going to say that the ZVS driver is a really bad idea and try and kind of campaign against that, which I don't think is a good idea. I think that he could dislike me or whatever, but then still say, oh, we should give the ZVS driver a try. I don't know. I don't know. But, you know, he told me to keep his name off my videos. So I don't know. I just think these aren't problems where we need to create more problems. These are things that happen that we kind of need to focus on our own avenue. You guys focus on y'all's own avenue, and I think people will see what they see. They will see what they see. All right, guys. I think I'm going to end it on that. I'm getting a little bit discombobulated, and I'm going to say something that might keep everything going. Hey, Puff, hey, HR Puff and stuff says, hello, everyone. I hope everyone is good. Odin Wutan, nylon replaced hemp. Look up when nylon was invented and when marijuana became illegal, they used reefer madness and racism. Yeah, that was pure propaganda. Reefer madness was pure propaganda because they couldn't make money off of it. They couldn't make taxes off of marijuana. So they had to make it illegal. And all those things were lies about it. Hey, thanks for coming, Wayne. I'll do another panel or something, you know, one night this week. I just wanted to do a kind of a live stream, letting people know I'm all right. And I hope you guys are doing well. Let me think about the tutorial. Email me if you've got the parts and you can't put it together. Because Jeff knows how to put it together. I know how to put it together. My friend Ken from Canada knows how to put it together. And so we'll talk about those tutorials. I've already put mine together. I guess I could show everybody how to cut the cable and stuff like that because I got some extra cable. Let me think about it. Let me think about it, guys. Just email me if you've got the materials, if you've got the stuff, and you're like, I have no idea how to put it together. And then we can get on Zoom. I'll get on Zoom with you individually. You guys, I love y'all. I love y'all, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one. I just wanted to do a Sunday live stream about miracles. There's miracles every day. There's also, for us, the providence of God is miracles because it's so hard. This targeting is so hard for our lives. And guys, just pray for every targeted individual. Pray for please, God, help every targeted individual that's suffering. Help them to come across solutions in Jesus' name. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one. I love y'all. And just stay strong. Have a good Sunday. And